A man in a town. He thinks his feet are sure, solid, but he never knows where to put them. He is never quite sure where he stands. As his life marches on, the most important person in his life walks out of it, then back again, but changed. And there is someone else now. The man finds the ground around him harder to find. Where will he step? To whom? Presenting play 1.
Woke up this morning, what do you think I do? I walk that line that leads me straight to you. Hey, life is short, but my journey's long. Woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, I gotta be moving on. Gotta get it before it's gone.
Yes, I need you files for
Gotta
the
get it
council
before
office
it's gone.
again. These ones have been chewed up.
Gotta get it
Rats.
before it's gone.
You really think I can fix my broken couch with PVC pipes?
Of course, buy a pack of 16 and I'll wait with packaging charges.
The boy still doesn't speak out louder.
He doesn't need to.
Annie, you've twisted up the fan regulator again!
What can I do now? The dollars are too big.
I gotta live life just like a butterfly. I'm here to stay and I kiss the world with my eyes. Noon is breaking, I'm making my way. Hey, 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 don't throw shade on my sunny day. Gotta get it before it's gone. Gotta get it before it's gone.
Your boyfriend? Hey,
Gotta get it before it's gone.
your dude, birthday breakups are trending on Insta. Why? How's the hip?
Broken in 2 more places.
What are you mad at this?
I think my head was stuck in it. Sister Joyce, what happened to the world? It fell off Sister Edna's big tooth. Look at that.
Get it before it's gone.
That was our town. Things were always falling apart.
It was a sweet town. A few leaks and cracks doesn't make God love a place any less.
But there was one place where nothing ever broke though. Henry Calvert's house.
Henry Calvert.
Things worked like magic in that man's house. Even the things I sold him.
His curtain rings never got stuck in the bracket.
Especially Papa whistled like a songbird.
Even his washing machine didn't make that dadap sound.
That's because unlike some people, he doesn't leave coins and gorillas in his back pockets.
Until one day, everything fell apart in Henry's life.
For a decade of working for the man, not a single cup had even chipped. I should have cracked one and put some salt in it to remove the panpati. Maybe then it wouldn't have happened. The incident.
How's the old man doing?
What did she say?
Still nothing.
Poor man.
It all began on a Monday morning, around 8 or so years ago. I remember it was a Monday because on Mondays, Henry found that crossword easy. I could see him from a house next door. He was sticking away at the paper like he was picking Gucci from someone's head.
It was a Wednesday morning. I remember because of the particularly pungent smell of Annie's spits. Tuesday night was sausage night.
Henry Calvert was his full name. An unusual name for our town. He'd been educated in the city apparently. Wrote columns for magazines there.
He was a sophisticated man, that Henry Calvert. The kind of man who had his mangoes diced and eaten with a dessert fork, unlike the normal way. Licking the juice of your elbows.
The poor man's wife had died long before. She was a confident woman.
She was a fataka.
The what?
Nothing. I was telling them what a fataka you are.
There was something a bit off about that Henry. He was a little too jumpy for a man. Didn't have that typical male a bit too intently though, especially when it came to his daughter May. I used to watch them from the window. I didn't mean to look, I was just catching some fresh air.
She was a sweet girl, little May. On her birthday, she'd give Sister Edna 2 toffees, just in case one got stuck in her big tooth.
Sister Edna's tooth was a legend in our town.
Legend.
It was so big, she even used it to do her knitting.
Maid Calvert, she was one spiky spirited girl. I remember one summer, I was out there in the garden, enjoying a good scratch. When this young 8-year-old girl, she comes up to me and gives me a ticking off. Excuse me, Mr. Neighbor, sir. You should learn not to be obscene around women. Now this Rosie of mine, she's watching this whole thing from the top. And from that day, she made me powder myself every day like a baby.
I should have seen it coming, All that twitchiness in Henry had to explode at some point into a catastrophe.
The incident that happened only a few weeks ago, but I can still see the way that throbbed in Henry's head.
Cristiano, the boy who runs my hardware store, had warned me something like this might happen. But that was later, much, much later. It began 8 years ago on a Tuesday. We were busy preparing. And then there was a loud sound.
What was that?
It sounded like a bomb. Immediately, Sister Edna's tooth started vibrating. A terrible screeching sound appeared. It came from right outside Henry Calvert's house.
I was mid-span spin when I saw it. Something rising off the ground.
Like something rising into the heavens.
Even from afar, I could see dust rise and stars splatter. Our town was under attack, I thought. I sprung into action. I brought out my ledger.
Ah! Something hit my face!
Bits of rubble smacked our windows.
I dove in front of Rosie to protect her. Full action hero style.
We rushed to the scene. No smell of gunpowder. No vehicles in sight. Just dust and asphalt everywhere.
I peeked into Henry's window and I saw him just stand there, frozen.
He didn't move until his maid old Mary came into the room.
Oh, Mr. Henry, what was that?
I don't know, it came from outside. Where's May?
She's in school. You better go see what's happening.
I should go check.
Well? What is it?
It's a pothole. Mr. Calvert came to see me about the pothole on a Friday. I remember it was a Friday because my phone kept beeping with WhatsApp notifications. On Friday evenings, I played football. The entire chat was going crazy because no one wanted to be in Enrico's team. That chap never passed the ball. Mr. Calvert knocked once and entered before I could say come in. Good afternoon. Top of the morning, my good sir. It's afternoon. I don't know why I always spoke like that when I was around Mr. Calvert. I shouldn't have been intimidated by him. I was the town's youngest ever councillor.
Now about this pothole that's outside my door.
Sir, would you like to put your umbrella in the bucket?
We're getting a lot of these notifications today.
Work stuff. You know, Fridays are very busy. Umbrella, sir, in the bucket.
It's not wet.
It was wet. I could see droplets falling onto the floor.
Now how soon can you have this pothole filled in?
Well, now, sir, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, let us ascertain some details, shall we? How deep would you say this pothole is?
About 3 inches.
Shape?
Round.
Perfect circle like a hula hoop or frayed around the circumference like a tutu.
I don't know.
And how about the texture? You must have had a bit of a feel around the thing, didn't you, you old scallywag? Did it have a smooth baby's bottom consistency? Or was it all prickly?
Well, I haven't done a forensic analysis of the thing, have I, man? The point is that it's there and it needs fixing.
Mr. Calvert, Bucket. Umbrella. No, okay. The town council will measure the alleged injury to the road.
Alleged? You saw it.
When exactly did this pothole form?
How should I know that?
You must admit it is a bit suspicious that a pothole just appears outside your door in particular, mustn't you, Mr. Calvert? I mean, potholes don't just appear out of thin air. You're an educated man.
Oh, I'm very sorry. My education didn't include anything on the mysterious apparition of holes. I assume the thing just formed out of wear and tear, man.
Someone must have seen something. Perhaps May might have seen
Now,
something.
are you going to do anything about these damn WhatsApp notifications?
Are you going to put your wet umbrella in the bucket? It was at that point that I felt a tangible presence of danger in the shadows of the room. I should never have given him such a hard time, of course. But the fact is, I had seen him look at the bucket with my umbrella in it. There was some water at the bottom of the bucket. He had this look of disgust, like he did not want his umbrella mingling in the rainwater of my umbrella.
Good morning. Hello. Hi.
That day, we left Mass a little early to go see the pothole. There was something kind of exciting about it. We'd never seen one before, but it made Sister Edna's tooth vibrate ominously. It used to shake at the sight of it. Actually, it was that house that had always upset her. She would sometimes stop for a second outside and go. Her thing about that house was that it had never been blessed. That's right. One day, years ago, a man named Henry Calvert, who no one knew anything about, moves into this house with his wife. A year later, they have a little girl. Baptism quietly in the church. No guests. 4 years later, the wife has a stroke and pops off to the other side. We all went for the funeral. No snacks after. And even 12 years later, this house has never been blessed. Never been blessed. Until that Sunday. It had rained the previous night, and so the bottle was filled with water. Sister Edna's tooth was buzzing so hard, I thought she was receiving a phone call in her mouth. Sister Edna's tooth? You sensed the unrest that was about to happen? The tooth made Sister Edna's entire body shake like a devil himself had entered it. She was being sucked towards that church house, and then she blew off. She fell into the pothole, and then, whoosh, this fountain rose up from the sink, and like it was being called by some divine force, went and smacked right into Henry Calvert's door. Splash! That day, this pothole changed our town forever. It made Sister Edna's big tooth fall off. But no! And then Sister Edna said, do you remember what she said, Sister Joyce? I remember, Sister Gwenny. She said, God bless this house!
For the reception here, please take him number 38. Showers of blessings.
Suddenly it became a thing. Everyone wanted to bless Henry Calvert's house. God bless this house! God bless this house!
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Mary, please remind me to do something about this damn pothole.
The joke was I did keep reminding Mr. Henry to see someone about fixing that pothole, but he never did. You see, I think he liked it being there. Mr. Henry, he never felt like he was a part of this town. No one ever came to visit us, but everyone wanted to visit that pothole.
I was always confused whether Henry Calvert really wanted to fix that pothole or not. hardware store was during spring. Summer. We had just launched a new scheme. Buy 6 hammers and get 1 free. Name. Pomegranates were in season. Henry walks in and says,
Do you have any blacktop?
this is a hardware store, sir. We don't sell clothes. Though I could sell you the shirt Cristiano is wearing.
No, I mean blacktop as in asphalt for the pothole.
Oh, asphalt. We could get some here in 3 to 5 weeks.
3 to 5 weeks. I might be busy by then.
How come you're not busy now?
Well, see, my daughter May, she's on a trip with her friends. She's 16, you know. I only asked her if I could call her a couple of times a day. She said I was smothering her. She's feisty, and I never wanted to raise a timid lamb of a thing. It's just that now she's gone 10 whole days. I find myself rather spare. I'll be back in a week to check on that blacktop.
But he didn't come back in a week's time. The next time we saw Henry Calvert was during the Christmas time. Watermelons were in season.
Did you ever hear back about that blacktop?
Yes!
And?
They can deliver just 1 bag.
Well, that's just wonderful. Just ask them to send whatever the minimum amount is, please.
Cristiano says congratulations.
Congratulations for what? Wait, you've got a watermelon seed stuck in your ear. It must have landed there while he was whispering. Well, what did he say?
He didn't say anything. He just sucked the watermelon seed from my ear back into his mouth. Congratulations on your column being accepted by a new magazine.
My columns have been in lots of magazines.
This one's different. May reads it.
I'll be back in 3 weeks.
For the next couple of years, we did not see Henry Calvert. Cristiano told me he was busy preparing May to go study in the city. He even took her to the city himself to show her around. Then one spring, Henry came back looking like a damn rag. Mangoes were in season. He couldn't get his words out.
You know, the blacktop, the weeks, I guess it's been years by now. I've been busy. I suppose we could,
He just looked Cristiano dead in the eye and uttered 2 words.
May's gone.
April, come she will. Streams are ripe and swelled with rain. May she will stay, resting in my arms again.
Dad,
It was a Thursday morning 3 weeks ago when Mr. Calvert came into my office again. I had heard that May was back from her 3 years studying in the city and that she was engaged.
he was an outsider from the city.
I told Sister Edna, surely this time they'll serve snacks after the mass. Told that Aggie not to blab about the engagement.
Not because she didn't want them to know, but because she wanted them to know she was the one who found it out.
I did find it out. I was at the window. I didn't mean to look. I was just catching some fresh air, you know. But I saw her hug Henry, and the way she held him, just a little too tight, and then let go suddenly. I knew she had a secret.
I was so happy to have my little Mayflower home. And with news of a wedding, but something was off. Some evil nazar was there. I burnt a red chili and I stamped it out. And then May says to me, I hope Dad's taking the news all right.
I thought Mr. Calvert would be in high spirits. So when he entered, I said, "Why, Jove, is there anything better than a summer wedding?" That damn cartoon accent found itself into my voice again.
You know about the engagement.
Well, of course, everyone's talking about it. Sorry, I thought you had come down here to ask about when you could register the marriage.
I came down here because it's time you did something about the damn pothole.
I could smell the tension in that house from my balcony.
That's what happens when you smell fresh air for too long.
They would say something. Henry would pretend not to hear. They would look at each other, then the clock, then the mug, like two blind people playing hide and seek.
Hey, when Rosie started telling me her theory, I said to her that Henry is already thinking about the cost of the wedding. I told you he was cheap.
Why are you sticking cellophane to your specs?
You know how expensive sunglasses are?
Maybe why would it not be okay? I don't know. He just seemed a bit distant. Especially when I mentioned that Luca is a writer.
Hey, what's the boy's name?
Luca.
Luke.
No, Luca.
Must be one Luca chap. What does he do?
He's a writer.
Like you.
She never said that.
Said what?
Like you.
Like me?
No. When May told me what Luca does, she didn't say dad, he's a writer. Like you. She just said dad, he's a writer.
Cristiano started bringing out all sorts of materials as temporary fixes for the pothole. I remember asking him, why are you so convinced Henry's going to try fixing the pothole now? He just said to me, you don't understand men.
God bless that man! Sometimes I think Dad thought he would pick who I was going to marry. Or at least be part of that decision.
Never. Anytime I mentioned anyone from our town, he said you never had the time for that sort of thing.
You know, this one time Dad took me to this posh gymkhana in the city to meet some of his friends. And one of them had brought a son. He was about my age, tall, handsome, well-spoken. And I think he had just had his chest waxed.
Boys also wax now. You don't know, Mary. Nowadays, these boys, they only want to look chickpea. Not buff, like my auntie.
Hey, Rosie, dinner.
Anyway, the boy got up to go to the buffet. And suddenly Dad says, why don't you go with him in? He can show you around the place.
So what's wrong with that?
It's the way he said it, Mary.
You know, I never tried to set May up with anybody. And believe me, there were opportunities. Lots of my college batchmates contacted me about their sons.
Did you ever tell her about them?
If I did, I was extremely subtle about it.
He put on this voice anytime he spoke of prospects. Oh, Mr. Wealthy jeweler's son is in the film business. Makes art films with dogs for actors. Mr. Hotshot editor's son makes gluten-free sugarless chocolate croissant. What is that? Basically mud.
Sounds fancy though. I think I ate a croissant once. It was all dry and flaky. It just have been an old hot cross bun.
May, come inside.
Have they made arrangements yet? I have these brand new string lights that change color with the bride's mood.
Wow! We could have had them at my wedding. The moment I saw the groom, the lights would have gone off.
He acted like I was a dumb little girl. That I wouldn't know that he was trying to set me up. You know, the whole time we were here, I was convinced he was raising me to be independent. But when I got to the city, I began to feel like every lesson on gender studies and critical theories and soup spoon etiquettes was another entry on a resume for Mr. Hotshot, somebody's budding hotshot son to read.
May not only selected her own groom, but she planned the entire wedding herself. Serves that Henry right. Hello, spoil his daughter used to go to her ballet class to lift her foot onto the bar.
And now she's come and done one tap dance on the man's head.
No, I don't want a traditional wedding. The gender roles must be reversed somehow. Perhaps it's the man whose vitality and commitment would be put to the test. He could climb a tree, fetch the largest coconut, walk back to my doorstep blindfolded with the whole town dancing around him. And then a short ring exchange ceremony in the house itself. Everything done in one day, Pop. But will there be snacks after? Mr. Joyce, you're too funny. What kind of answer is that? It was Sister Edna who made a very pertinent point though. Her big tooth had sent vibrations straight to her brain. She said if the groom is going to be walking blindfolded,
Then what about the pothole? That boy will fall into it and drop that large coconut on someone's head.
So you see, sir, we've got to do something about this pothole. I can't have the groom falling into it and ruining the ceremony. If you can even call this newfangled thing they're doing a ceremony.
I thought you'd enjoy the fact that May came up with her own ideas for the wedding. It's very creative, no? Just like you thought it would be. Okay, I'll see what I can do about the pothole.
The wedding was in just 3 weeks. Mr. Henry had grown obsessed with that pothole. I burnt all the red chilies in the house.
Is Mr. Byron in? It's Henry Calvert. What do you mean he doesn't remember me?
The whole town rallied around him. Everyone began to call for help. It was very sweet. Chup! Hello?
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 Yes.
Do you know how to fix a pothole?
Mr. Calvert, my colleague has a suggestion. Paver blocks.
Haven't you heard, man? That's a scam.
Mr. Henry, Sister Lily says to fill it in with sand.
Sand! Far too capricious and flimsy, Sister Joyce. Don't you know? The pothole is a succubus. A blight on my soul. Sometimes I see the devil's horns popping out of it. Hello?
It's Mr. Pace from the IT ministry.
Yes, Brian, I've been meaning to get in touch with you about this pothole, yes. How did you know it's outside my door? You can see the pothole on Google Maps.
Henry, the city, they're redoing all the roads with concrete.
And how long does that take?
They don't know, they're finding out as they go along.
Henry, how about some dough?
Door to fill the pothole.
Yeah, I've got tons of it. Sam floozy ordered 5 kgs of pugyas and then cancelled last minute. Mr. Meghe, the sociology professor.
Yes, Mr. Meghe, yes, I am trying to get rid of a pothole. What do you mean it's got a right to be here just like us? Squatting rights, potholes don't have rights.
Double it, old socks.
Metal.
Gravel?
Cheese.
No, none of that's going to work. It's defeated me. It wins. The pothole wins.
Dad, Luca will be here tomorrow morning. I told him about the issue with the pothole. He said don't worry. He'll bring everything that's needed from the city to fix it and have the job done by tomorrow evening.
Get the pillows ready! Right here. Thanks to this. Good job, young lady in the town council. Thanks you. You next, you all sloppy. Put that down right there. Good job, young man, good job. Yes, sir. You look pretty young and strong. Can you do something for me? Oh, my goodness, you made a mess of it. You, good job. How do I help you with that?
The evening before the groom was to arrive, Henry approached May while she was trying on her bridal makeup.
It was like watching those K-serial type shows. I knew this would be full masala scene.
I could hear Mr. Henry's footsteps thudding, but then they softened. My May will make him himself again, I thought.
Do you like it, Dad? I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. I don't want to hide my blemishes.
It's lovely, May. Though I don't know why you're asking me, you could just send the photo to Luca.
What's that supposed to mean?
What do you mean Luca's going to fill the pothole? Who can fix a pothole in 24 hours, May?
He's found some filler that dries super fast. And I thought you wanted the pothole fixed.
I do, May, but he won't do it right.
May then shut her makeup kit with this sharp click.
What is this really about, Dad? You've been acting strange since I got home.
I've been acting strange. You waltz in here with these ideas about coconuts and blindfolds and reverse gender roles.
You're the one who's always saying the traditions must change, reflect the changing landscape of ideas.
This is not changing the landscape, May. It's drawing squiggly cartoons all over it. You're making a mockery of things. And you're not thinking about what everyone else will think, Rose and Aggie.
Hey, they're talking about us.
It's like you're laughing at this town, May. And I did not send you to the city so that you could come back here and sneer at us simple townsfolk.
Send me to the city. I thought it was my choice.
Come on, May, you know what I mean.
And me, sneer at this town. Do you even know what it's like growing up in this town, trying to be a kid and Mr. Calvert's daughter at the same time?
What do you mean?
5th grade. They asked me to join the school choir and I'm so excited to sing with my friends. But when you found out I wasn't one of the soloists, do you remember what you said to me?
I did remember what Mr. Henry had said. Oh, so you'll be just one of the town kids.
May, that was a passing remark. I never looked down upon this town. I like this town. It's just I knew opportunities for you would be much vaster on the outside.
I had never heard Henry's voice shake that much. When you left me in the city, I can't tell you how lost I was. But you taught me well, Dad. I knew how to start up conversations on topics of the age. I knew how to shake my head in anger and laugh wryly in contempt. But then, someone would ask me where I was from, and I'd be stuck. Was I the girl from the town come to the city? Or was I the daughter of the town father who'd been stuck in the city? I think I'll have to ask my dad. He'll know.
I wish you would have called me, May. I would have been there immediately.
To rescue me? I thought us girls don't need rescuing anymore. You taught me that too.
But Luca is the one rescuing you now.
Dad, what is your problem with Luca?
Nothing. In fact, I'm in awe of him. After all, he's swooping in here to do what none of us country bumpkins have been able to do for nigh a decade, right? He's going to fix the pothole.
Dad, it's a bleeding pothole. Oof. What a line to exit on.
Insulted the man and his bottle in one shot.
Mr. Henry just stood there, rocking. I couldn't leave him like that, so I walked in.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mary. I hope we didn't disturb you. May and I were just having a chat.
I didn't hear a word, sir.
Do you remember, Mary, how it was after May's mother died? This town seemed so strange. Everywhere I walked, it felt like the ground moved faster than my feet. When May was 9, I remember seeing her one day, sitting on the bottom rung of the jungle gym by herself. Some other kid may have said something to her, made her feel unwelcome. On another day, I'd have just said, let her fight her own battles. But that day, I reached out my hand to her, and she took it. And when the tininess of her flesh touched the firmness of my palm, for the first time in years, it felt like I was standing on solid ground.
The day of the wedding, the dancing was giddy.
There hadn't been a wedding in town in years.
Everyone kept asking where Henry was. Cristiano told me he was at home with me, waiting for the procession to arrive. We watched the groom climb up the tree.
And like a true natural, he grabbed a coconut, removed it with one solid swing of his pointa.
How tired that boy must have been, but he still danced with us. Such a sweet man.
I just kept thinking about Mr. Henry and May all alone at home.
Cristiano told me he had heard something happening out of Henry's house in the middle of the night.
The couple had spent the night there. There must have been some tuk-tuk going on. Some last-minute shifting of furniture.
As we got closer to the house, everyone started getting a bit nervous, and so we started dancing even harder.
Henry and May sound like a barricade right in front of the pothole.
Was he going to block us from entering the house?
I could see the madness in his eyes.
And then we were there at the barricade. The music stopped. And there was silence as we stared at Henry. And he stared back.
The thing that broke the silence was Sister Edna's tooth. It was vibrating harder than ever in her pocket.
I'm sorry, you cannot pass. The pothole is worse than ever. We'll have to do the wedding ceremony somewhere else.
What if we lift the groom and carry him across the pothole?
Yes, I'll lift his thigh.
You take the right, I'll take the left. Come on. 1, 2, 3, lift! And go!
And
The pothole is fixed.
Fixed? How could that be? It was there just yesterday, gaping wide as ever.
It is not fixed.
Fixed in one night?
It is not fixed, guys. Yeah, look at it. The pillar it used hasn't even dried yet. And the color of the blacktop is totally different from the rest of the road. And it's all uneven. Trust the writer to fill in a pothole like it's some undulating story plot.
Seems fine to me.
It's quite firm.
I dare say this is as exciting as the wedding itself. The pothole is fixed.
Not fixed. Can't any of you see properly? It's a dodgy patch-up job. If this was the level of repair job I wanted, I could have done it myself years ago.
Cristiano nudged me. I saw Henry reach for something.
I saw it too. Just beyond sight, he had stashed away a giant spade.
And just like that, I saw it in his hand.
I can't remember what was sharper, the edge of the blade or the look of fury cut across Henry's face.
The look of Lucifer was in his eyes. And then it began. Asphalt started flying everywhere. And one day, Jenny saw his light. I saw her running to her.
It felt like it went on for hours. Henry, sweat rolling down his arms, scarf popping, veins fighting each other in the neck.
The more he pressed faster, the repair pothole, the more panic his movements got. Then he was a blow.
And then he sat in it.
I won't get out.
Mr. Henry.
I can't. Nobody can fix this pothole but me.
Come on, Henry.
No. Nobody understands it like I do. It's my pothole.
And then May had walked to the door, and she moved over to her father.
I thought she would blast him. He had just ruined her wedding.
But nothing happened. Everything froze.
Even Sister Edna's tooth was still.
The way she looked at him, you could tell he'd partly destroyed her. But the pieces were putting themselves back together with a new understanding.
And then my little May reached out a hand to her father, and she said,
Come back. Come back to solid ground.
Come, Henry. Come back to